investigations because in the past, the police have not proven themselves to be honest or truthful.
Also this morning, we hear from lawyer to the victims who say they are ready in a petition to the IGP. Professor of Epidemiology at the University of Health and Allied Sciences, Professor Fred Binka, questions government's commitment in completing all its Agenda 111 hospital projects.
We are starting 101 hospitals all around the country, but we still not completed one.
And as the June 27 by-election at Asin North nears, the two leading parties, the NPP and the NDC, continue to trade and refute accusations as campaign to sway voters intensifies.
I want to be very, very clear as much as possible to say that there is no such thing as machinations here in Asin North.
We have details if you stay with us for the next 10 minutes. A pleasure that you could be a part of us this morning. Let's begin with the police because it is coming under scrutiny over its modus operandi, which led to the shooting of 5 suspected land guards and armed robbers at Botiano here in the capital. A police statement indicated that 5 persons were killed and guns retrieved, but according to the Bureau of Public Safety, the processes leading to the incident remain questionable. The Executive Director, Dr. Nanaya Wakwada, believes an independent investigation into the development is the only way to engender public confidence in the police.
Yes, we have called for independent investigations because in the past, the police have not proven themselves to be honest or truthful. In all instances that we have followed, where the police investigated themselves, they have always exonerated themselves. Even in Asawase, where the police shot and killed 7 young men, went ahead to plant evidence against these boys. The police stood by their narrative until an independent investigating body proved otherwise.
The lawyer of the victim, they will petition the IGP under the Right to Information Act. Theophilus Tronko spoke to 3FM.
Well, I think our next line of action is to petition the IGP for them to give us. We will come under the Right to Information Act so that we seek a lot of information from the police service because we are entitled to. And what is strange is that the police are quick to issue statements. Why I'm saying delay all this one, not to issue a statement at this time.
That's a lawyer for the victims, Theophilus Tronko, there to help now because Professor of Epidemiology at the University of Health and Allied Sciences, Professor Fred Binka, he's raised questions about the implementation of the government's ambitious Agenda 111 program as a measure to prepare the country for future pandemics. According to him, government is struggling to raise the $1 billion US dollars it pledged, and he fears the slow pace of progress will lead to a number of abandoned structures in the country.
Our current approach is so difficult to realize the goal. We are starting 101 hospitals all around the country with their foundations being started and buildings are going on. But we still not completed one so far in the 18 months that we predicted. So the idea is that if we had to schedule it in such a way that we build 20 and then we build another 20 and we build another 20. In addition, we have the problem of the money that we raised. We started with $100 million. At that time, estimated that we're going to have about $1 billion to be able to achieve this goal.
Thus, Professor Fred Binka is a professor of epidemiology at the University of Health and Allied Sciences. To some other stories now, because the special prosecutor Kisi Jabin says the arrest of Professor Frimpong Boateng was a luckless coincidence that follows the barrage of criticism and allegations of manipulation of his office in seeking to gag the former Environment, Science and Technology Minister Professor Frimpong Boateng. Well, speaking to Accra-based Joy FM, the special prosecutor, Kisi Jabin, says that he cannot be manipulated in hounding anybody.
Maybe if on my list in October 2022, I had called the professor first on my list, we won't be saying this, would we? Or if I had waited and then in December 2023, if we are still in the course of the investigation, I had called him, we won't be talking about this, would we? But God forbid that I will be used to settle scores on behalf of someone or another. The government of the day does not and cannot instruct me to go after people or to embarrass them. No one has even tried that before.
That's the special prosecutor Kisi Echabe into politics now, and as the June 27 by-election date continues to near, the opposition National Democratic Congress says it is aware of all machinations and scheming by the governing New Patriotic Party in the Asin North constituency ahead of that by-election at a flag-raising ceremony in the constituency to mark 31 years of the establishment of the party. Deputy General Secretary Barbara Sewa Samosa, the NDC will win the June 27 by-election. Here's a news desk report.
For 31 years, the opposition National Democratic Congress has in diverse ways contributed to Ghana's democracy, also serving as the longest political party to have stayed in office. Well, whilst marking that, the NDC decided to bring the occasion to the same North constituency. For Dr. Sherry Aite, this is significant. As these continue and with about less than 20 days to the election, the NDC says they are poised to winning the seat for the same North constituency.
I was saying justice. Amayera Jachi question. Support to our money justice. Sagana buying our money justice. I say no for your money justice.
So a news desk reports there about the communications director of the NPP, Richard Ahiagba. He's denied that the NPP is employing any schemes to win the elections.
I want to be very, very clear as much as possible to say that there is no such thing as machinations here in Asebo. There is nothing going on except, as far as NPP were concerned, to canvass the people. In Kubawu, we went and canvassed the people. The same template is what we have brought here. We're going up and down the countryside, canvassing people. We saw NDC canvassing and organizing many rallies on the way.
That's the communications director of the NPP. Away from this, and today marks World Day Against Child Labor, and according to the United Nations, more than 160 million children, some as young as 5, are engaged in child labor across the world. The International Labour Organization ILO data further shows that in least developed countries, more than 1 in every 4 child of ages between 5 to 17 has been engaged in child labor. Well, 23 girls have been rescued in situations described as child labor along the Volta Lake by child rights protection group Challenging Heights. Here is Dr. James Annan, the executive director of the group.
Challenging Heights over the weekend rescued 23 boys and girls from situations of worst forms of child labor. Those 23 children were made up of 17 boys and 6 girls who were between the ages of 4 and 17. The children were rescued from 16 different communities along Lake Volta, with several of them exhibiting traces of slavery conditions. Challenging Heights, being a child rights organization, has been working in this area for some time now.
That's Dr. James Annan, the Executive Director of Challenging Heights, and in this morning's edition of the news here on 3FM 92.7. As always, a lot more news if you log on to 3news.com. I am Eric Mawuena Egbeta.